with Disney Infinity canceled, what does that mean for Amiibos and Skylanders? They are all very similar. They are what's called toys to real life, and we will see. I think that this is a show that, while Disney did say they messed up and they got the projections wrong, it makes you think, did the other companies overproject as well? I think they believe that this was the next wave of gaming, that you would have both physical things and digital things. The idea, I think, is okay maybe for kids and maybe for collectors, kind of like how comic books, the physical ones are great for collectors, but not necessarily just for people that want to read comic books. Now, the Amiibos probably are in the best shape, probably won't ever have any problems for a long time, as long as they incorporate them into the next Nintendo system, if it's called the NX or whatever it's called. The only thing is, just there's going to be a certain limited market. I myself don't collect them. That doesn't mean that there's not a lot of people out there that don't, but I think compared to just playing a video game, having to buy a video game and buy figures for it to unlock stuff is a much smaller market, and Disney probably overprojected it. Now, the one thing that sucks is there was going to be Star Wars Rogue One set and more Marvel stuff and Disney characters that were coming out, so there would have been a lot more in play with, being able to have 3 different types of characters all together. It would have been pretty cool, I think. But the one that worries me the most, I think, is Skylanders. I think that Skylanders is the company or the game that I think would be the next one on the chopping block. I'm sure they still make okay amount of money, but I think it's going to eventually die. The Nintendo's just got a rabid built-in community that can sustain having little figures and stuff if it's implemented correctly, and they don't overproduce the actual figures themselves, which is another problem with the Infinity. You could go into any Walmart, you could go into any Toys R Us or any other store that carried them, and you would just find an abundance of them. The Amiibos have kind of kept their run low, which has kind of helped actually make the figures a little bit more collectible and make people want to buy them. Nintendo's done this forever. They did it with the original launch of the Wii. They've done it all the way back on the Nintendo in a lot of ways. So they've really kind of made a niche out of that market. They'll be the one that'll probably survive for a long time. Skylanders might survive for a little bit longer, but I think that one's kind of been running out of steam. The thing that helped the Disney Infinity line is that it is all, mainstream characters from Disney shows, from Pixar, from Marvel, and then from Star Wars. So it's a little disheartening to hear that there's companies going, there's people losing their jobs here, and there's now been talk that what's this mean for the mobile market as well, since this is all kind of geared to more of a casual fan base, which is funny, even though it's a very diehard thing. It was also kind of for casual gamers in some weird way, because it was expensive to collect all the figures. So some people just would buy a couple figures and goof around on it. There's been talk that the mobile market may have some problems with this with Disney, because Disney closed their internal branch of game development, and they reported they lost $147. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now with Disney, and I think they're going to have to start focusing on more actual games and licensing out the games, just like Star Wars Battlefront. Maybe start making more. I think make the same idea as Disney Infinity, but just don't have to have it as figures. You can hire EA or hire anyone, really, whatever company, that comes up with a good plan. It's the same idea, and you have a large set of characters that start, and then you just unlock more and more, and then they don't have to worry about making figures. They can do it as DLC forever. I think that the idea could just last that way, especially if the game's well thought out. I mean, Minecraft's proven that you can just make one simple thing and just let the community expand on it, and just let it expand over and over and over again. And then just add stuff down the road. You don't need to make figures to make it playable. Minecraft wouldn't have caught on if you had to actually have little Minecraft figures for everything you wanted to do in the game. It would be kind of terrible. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and follow me on Twitter at GeekySteveD. See ya.